Hey guys, Nicolas here, back to another video, and welcome back to the DC Film Review Retrospective. Today's DC Film Review, what we'll be reviewing is Batman and Robin. After the success on Batman Forever, Batman and Robin was quickly put into production, with Joel Schumacher returning to the director's chair. But this time with Warner Brothers teaming up with toy manufacturers to market and sell toys for the movie, in which they redesign all the vehicles from scratch. And with Val Kilmer not returning to play Batman, he later went to go on to work on the movie The Saint, and so Joel Schumacher needed to find a new Batman right away, and that is when he decided to recruit George Clooney to play Batman. The movie was released on 1997, and it was both a critical and a financial failure, bombed at the box office mainly due to too much advertisement and too many toy sales to market it for this movie. So what do I think about it? Well, let's get into the plot. The movie opens up with Mr. Freeze robbing a museum, stealing diamonds, and with Batman coming to the rescue to stop Mr. Freeze, and including with Robin, Batman played by George Clooney, and Robin played by Chris O'Donnell. Later, Mr. Freeze escapes. Meanwhile, we get to see Pamela Isley played by Uma Thurman, who is experimenting on plants and needs to find more venom, and finds out that this guy was experimenting on venom, and calls the super soldier Bane, making a super soldier like Captain America. Sound familiar? As this later goes, she later then gets pissed off. The doctor pushes her off in a bunch of chemical plants that she's been experimenting on plants with to save nature. And so later after that, she turns into the deadly villain Poison Ivy. As meanwhile, Bruce and Dick are attending a party, but as Batman and Robin and are trying to ambush Mr. Freeze. Later after that, Mr. Freeze then ambushes the party, and so it's up to Batman and Robin to stop him. But unfortunately, we also get to see Poison Ivy and Bane coming, and so Poison Ivy meets up with Mr. Freeze and affects him with her toxin love. But unfortunately, it doesn't affect on him. And after that, Mr. Freeze later then gets arrested, and so after that, we also get to see Alfred Pennyworth and his niece Barbara Gordon, played by Barbara Pennyworth, played by Alicia Silverstone. Mr. Freeze is now in jail, and later on we get to see Poison Ivy and Bane breaking him out, and so they get out of Arkham Asylum. As this is going on, Alfred is also dying with some McGregor syndrome as well. As it was revealed that Mr. Freeze's wife, the one that he's been trying to steal diamonds all along, and that he's been trying to steal the diamonds so that he can give his wife a cure so that she can live again. And so as this is going on, well, we get to see Barbara going to a motorbike race, and so Dick Grayson decides to follow her, and even tries to save her from falling into her death, and he does save her. And that the reason why she was only doing it was because that Alfred was sick. Well, not sick, but most likely dying. And so Batman and Robin decides to go investigate after when they found out that Freeze has escaped, and they found Mr. Freeze in his laboratory. But unfortunately, with that, Robin gets affected by Poison Ivy's love potion, and he gets thrown off by some kind of ice cream pudding or whatever that was. And then later after that, they decide to go with him again, but decide to go get him again. But this time, unfortunately, they got trapped, and that three of them are teaming up more together and becoming more stronger. And then, we get to see Barbara Pennyworth. I have to say Pennyworth because, they changed her character. But anyways, after that, we get to see her going into the Batcave with Alfred guiding her, and with little to no hand-to-hand combat. And so So Batman, Batgirl, and Robin are stopping Mr. Freeze from freezing Gotham, and of course that. Of course they did stop it as Mr. Freeze finds out about the truth that his wife was almost killed by poison ivy, but then later they restored her back. And then after that, Poison Ivy gets locked into Arkham Asylum. Mr. Freeze does his research there and tries to kill Poison Ivy for almost trying to kill his wife. And then later after that, the movie ends with Batman and Robin curing Alfred, and later they teamed up and they go running on the back signal with Barbara Gordon as credits roll. The positives I have with this movie is that I really like how the costumes are designed very well, but then again, the costumes are kind of a bit designed for. Well, yeah, we'll get to that later. The costume designs are really great, although the problem is that there are a few flaws with it, which is the bat nipples, especially when Bob Kane hated the bat nipples. But anyways, the costume design looks really great. The acting is a bit soft for the most point. Chris O'Donnell does a really great job on playing Dick Grayson, as he did in Batman Forever, and Alicia Silverstone, she's fine in the role on Barbara Gordon. She's all right. Um, Mr. Free. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Now everyone seems to hate Arnold Schwarzenegger voicing Mr. Free, playing Mr. Freeze in this, but I absolutely kind of liked it, and I did definitely kind of laughed whenever he's on screen. Although he's barely in the suit, by the way, which we'll get into that later. And well, Uma Thurman, she does a really great job on dialogue on playing Poison Ivy, and basically, yeah, that's all I got for. And another positive I have with this film is that the special effects are really great, and they look really well. Looking back at it now, they do seem dated, they're but it does seem good. Although, well, that's all I got for positives. Although there are some, well, let's get to the negatives. The problem with this movie is that this movie is just seemed to be too campy, more campier than Batman Forever, and not only that, it was basically just one huge giant toy commercial just to sell and advertise toys to kids, and basically that they just lost interest. And Warner Brothers have made a mistake by teaming up toy companies to market and sell toys, and it has some great ideas here and there, but they're executed very poorly, and well, some of the special effects do quite frankly look seemed a bit rushed, to say the least. They do seem a bit rushed, and not only that, Bane, the characters, they don't get the characters much right. The characters are just like too campier, and basically, yeah, like Bane, for example. Bane in this movie, he's not resemble like the one from the comics, but well, but he does have the similar costume to the costume. He has to have the similar costume to the comics, but he's not that very good in this movie, in my opinion. And Bane, at the time of this movie, he was known to be a popular Batman villain, but in this one, he is used very poorly in this movie. And not only that, I also forgot to mention that this let superhero movies falling down with movies that were released this year, such as Spawn and Steel. Yeah, basically, yeah, this movie let down the superhero movies, comic book and superhero movies that are not meant to be that were not taken that seriously back in the old days. With starting with Batman Forever, although not terrible, but with this movie, it is. Batman and Robin was voted as one of the worst movies ever made, and plus, Barbara Gordon and Barbara Gordon in this movie, she's not that very well. She's unlike in the comic books, she's not related to Commissioner Gordon. In the comics, she's related to Commissioner Gordon, but in this one, she's related to Alfred Pennyworth. She's from England, yet has an American accent. Yeah, And plus, she becomes Batgirl with little known to hand-to-hand known combat, and with Alfred being a techno wizard, he's a butler, not a mechanic, technical wizard, and anything like that. And in Forever, he gets away with with Alfred making the Robin costume for Dick Grayson, but in Batman and Robin, they gone too far, and basically, yeah. But luckily nowadays, we got superhero movies that are meant to be taken very seriously, where you have to stay true to the source material and care more about the audience. If you want to care more about the audience, stay true to the source material. Toys are the Toys are toys are a product of a company, a movie, or a TV show, not the other way around. So they could have done much better with the script. With the script, giving it a few more rewrites, which it should have had. I could have rewritten the script for this movie. I could go on saying about how bad this movie is, but I don't want to anymore. Overall, it wasn't worst or the terrible. It was the worst Batman movie ever made, and one it was voted as one of the worst DC films ever made as well. However, it's not terrible to say the least. It's not terrible. Sure, it is campy and it does feel like one giant toy commercial, but hey, overall, Batman and Robin was just overall just really bad to say the least. With just rushed moments and here and there. It has some great ideas, but is executed very poorly. And basically, yeah, George Clooney as Batman. George Clooney does not did a really great job as Batman and doesn't like have that have that serious impression as Batman. And basically, yeah. And what else other than that is that this movie is basically made to sell toys for kids. And Joel Schumacher did apologize for the way how Batman and Robin turned out to be, which is honoring him for, which is something that is, good for him. And of course, Joel Schumacher, we forgive you for ruining Batman. And so Joel Schumacher did said himself that he did read the comics and even watched Batman the animated series, and that one of his favorite comic book storylines was Batman Year One, and that and basically, yeah. But overall, Batman and Robin is just not that really good. I give Batman and Robin 1 star and a skip it recommendation. So that's basically Batman and Robin. What do you guys think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Overall, just skip this movie by any means. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Although this isn't the last DC film to review, because we're in the Joker film and Wonder Woman 84 now.